Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Now, before we begin and I tell you what the lineup is, we've got some very sad news to share. Very dear brother, essential part of Sports Extra, our cricket expert and cricket commentator K. Asif has gone through a tragedy. He lost his mother yesterday. She passed away by the will of Allah, of course, and at this difficult time, we, of course, the team of Sports Extra, PTV World, PTV in general, offer our sincere condolences to K. Asif Ahmed, his family, and for the departed soul of his beloved mother. We hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses the soul, gives the family fortitude to bear this loss. And Asif, we all want you to know that we're with you. And inshallah, we hope that you can bear this loss with fortitude and, of course, return back with the same pride that you have always shown on Sports Extra as well. A very big tragedy. Since yesterday, it's been very difficult for Asif. Of course, we have been there, but the fact is that all of us sincerely offer our prayers, and this is the will of Allah. That's how life is. And of course, we pray that the pain is eased of Asif and his family. Moving on, let's take a look at what we're discussing. We'll start off with the fact that we're going to be in exclusive conversation with the gentleman that's all set to make history. Mr. TAIMOOR Khan is going to be joining us. We'll be talking about his title fight against his Indian opponent, so it can't get any bigger than that. He's set to fight for the ABF heavyweight title. He's been training extensively. The fight is on 3rd of August, and we're going to be knowing all the training routine, everything about the fight. And of course, his opponent looks in good shape as well, but obviously we want TAIMOOR to win, and what are the plans and everything that is happening. So we'll be in conversation with TAIMOOR. When it comes to the heavyweight division, Pakistan hasn't seen much, but I'm glad, because growing up, we've always been fan of heavyweight boxing. So it's great to see a heavyweight boxer from Pakistan as well. Then moving on, we'll of course be discussing cricket in the second segment, talking about the test match, the second test match between Pakistan and Sri Lanka that takes place in Galle. SHAHEEN has been ruled out due to his knee injury. We were, of course, a bit curious about that injury, and now the reports are that he will not be playing. 24th is the day when this second test match will be played, but hopefully Pakistan, already 1-0 up in the series, can muster a big victory as well. Moving on, big news for Pakistan. First Pakistani women to summit K2, the second highest mountain in the world. Samina Beg and Naila Kiani have made history. Samina has become the first Pakistani to summit Everest in 2013. Of course, she's done it before as well, and it's immensely, I think, a proud moment for Pakistan. It's one of the world's most dangerous mountains, considered extremely difficult to climb, and Samina Beg has become the first Pakistani woman to summit K2 and make history. We'll be discussing that as well. That's the lineup that we've got for the show today, and of course, like I said, we're going to be in exclusive conversation with TAIMOOR Khan. He's joining us in studios. Assalamu alaikum, TAIMOOR. How are you?
Walaikum.
Thank you very much for joining us. You look in great shape. That means training is on, ready, and tell us about the fight now.
Alhamdulillah, the training camp was very good, and I trained so hard. It's like more than 2 months training camp, and inshallah this is my ABF title fight, and I will beat this Indian opponent.
Inshallah.
He's the champ, but I'm the Pakistani champ. So inshallah, 3rd August, I will dedicate this fight to my Pakistani nations and the Pakistani community and the Pakistan army. So this is my plan. So inshallah, on 25th, I'm going to Thailand for my coming fight. Yes.
Inshallah. Yeah. So 3rd of August is your fight, and of course, your opponent is in good shape as well, Vedant Agarwal. Now tell us about the training routine. It was very tough because of the heat wave right now. Since the past 2-3 months, how has the training process been for you?
The training camp, my coach is very professional, and my team is very professional with me. They help me a lot, and I train like twice a day in the morning session, 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening. So the training camp was very good, but this sport, so injuries happen. So. But inshallah, I'm fully prepared, and I train very good, and this is my first 10-round boxing fight. So this is my first time I will fight 10-round boxing. So I trained for like more than 20 rounds.
So that means that in 10 rounds you need a lot of stamina now.
Yes,
so things will be changing.
Exactly.
So are you ready for that change and that tenure of 10 rounds for a long fight now?
Actually, in the ring, if you have a stamina for 10 rounds, but in the ring, your stamina is 50%. So I train like a 20 rounds, 25 round every day, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. So inshallah, my fitness is on peak, and inshallah I will show my best.
So you're looking to knock your opponent out, not take it to 10 rounds.
No. Heavyweight is different. Heavyweight, it's one punch can change the game. So inshallah, my target is to first round and second round to beat and knock him out.
So why boxing? Why would I say Taimoor started boxing? From a young age, all of us are very aggressive, want to fight, fighting all around in streets and schools. But when did you figure out that professionally I want to take boxing?
Actually, when I was a kid, I do a lot of street fights. So my brother took me to football, but football is not like, I was not interested in football. So then he took me to rugby. I enjoy it, but it's not my mind type. So then he said, when I was like 10 years old, he said, you start boxing. So then I start boxing, and I like it. And my favorite the fighter was Bruce Lee. So I was very inspired of him. So this is my target. So I become strong and muscular.
So what was the family reaction initially when you told everybody I'm going to be a boxer? What was the reaction?
Actually, when I started boxing, many people they didn't support me. They say, why boxing? Go cricket or something like that. But this is a one-man army. So if you champ, everybody knows this Taimoor is champ. It's not like a cricket or football. There's
not a team sport.
Yeah, not team sport. So that's the things that I like. And then before, when I start boxing, I go to under 16 championship. So I lost that fight. After that, I train more hard, and then I show to the people and to my family that I can. Then after that, alhamdulillah, my career is on the peak. Yeah.
So the structure of boxing in Pakistan is very difficult. Let's be very honest. So how difficult was it to pick up a sport? Like you said, you were all alone. You had to take up boxing. Everybody said, why are you doing this? So how challenging was it to go through that structure, not have enough support, not financial, not structure-wise? We don't have proper fitness centers or diet routines, nothing like that.
Actually, there's a famous saying, if there is a will, there is a way. So, in Pakistan, boxing is not too much supportive, but, when professional boxing came to Pakistan in 2017 by Rashid Baloch. So then boxing is different. Before I used to play amateur boxing. In amateur boxing in Pakistan, too much politics. But when I started professional boxing in 2020 against Iranian opponent in Lahore, so then many sponsors helped me.
So how was that fight? That was your first professional
fight? Yeah, that's my first fight, and I beat him in the 4th round, knockout. So after that, my career was very supportive, and many people support me. So now I am going to Thailand, and all my sponsor and my expenses doing the life residential they support me, and they sponsor all my expenses.
So what's the difference when you move on to amateur to professional boxing, and then of course in boxing when you move up to the heavyweight division? So what's the big difference that we see?
The big difference is in amateur boxing was it's like I said, it's too much politics. So when I go for Pakistan camp, and they said we will take you to the Commonwealth Games or Asian Games. I trained 2 months in the camp, but in the final day, other person
they took somebody else.
Yeah, they took other. So these things make me so hurt, but I never give up. And when I started professional boxing, so it's like it's a one-man show. So I can choose the fight. I can go around the world. It's not like a federation. It's like I have like my own team. So I can go around the world anywhere I can fight. So I think it's more easy for me.
More easy, probably more accessible, because now Taimoor can choose his opponent. He can decide where he wants to fight, which promotion fight he wants to take part in. So I think things get a lot easier when you talk about things on a different perspective. But then heavyweight boxing, not much scope of heavyweight boxers in Pakistan. I don't know the number right now, but how do you feel being one of the best heavyweight boxers in Pakistan right now?
Alhamdulillah, I am number one heavyweight boxer in Pakistan. So, in Pakistan, in professional boxing, is I think more than 15 boxers, and I am the number one ranking. Heavyweight is everybody. Heavyweight is more interesting. Like a boxing and MMA and other like combat sports. If the crowd was the real fight, they want to see a big boys. So I have a height, I have a stamina, I have a strength. So I think I can. I don't think I believe that I will be inshallah world level boxer. And after this fight, inshallah I will fight for WBC Asia, and then I will fight for world eliminator WBC. Yes.
But Taimoor, there is a dilemma now. When we were growing up, we saw a lot of heavyweight boxers and a lot of heavyweights fight. Now we see other categories, but very less heavyweight fights happening. The last one which I saw was Tyson Fury. Why is there a less focus now on heavyweight boxing?
Actually, the thing is, Vladimir Klitschko, he's from Ukrainian boxer. He destroyed all heavyweights. So people was not taking interest in heavyweights.
Nobody was left.
But when Anthony Joshua beat him, then people took more interest in heavyweight boxing. And it's always like people like more heavyweight, like Muhammad Ali, like George Foreman, like Mike Tyson. So if the crowd wants the real fight, they want to see a heavyweight fight. So I don't think so that heavyweight is. I think still heavyweight is on peak.
It's still on peak. That's very interesting because obviously in heavyweight boxing, more the aggression, more the flavor and culture of the fight. And we also have some videos that we see of Taimoor training. Very extensive training. Even the leg press, you're putting a lot of weight. So that means you're giving your and we can see those pictures right now of your build as well. You're going to give your Indian opponent no escape this time.
No, inshallah. I'm fully prepared and fully motivated. And Indian. I don't think so. Indian race is more tough than our race. So inshallah, I'm fully confident. And I will smash him.
Do you feel more power? Because any opponent you're facing is your opponent. It's going to be a challenge. But when it's Pakistan-India, there is more expectation. More people want to see Pakistan win. So do you feel more power when you're going against an Indian opponent?
Yeah, that's the thing that, this is my first fight that I train very hard. I used to train hard for every fight, but this fight is like my career-changing fight. So my friends and my family and my sponsor, all they support me, and I'm very confident. And inshallah, I'm the best shape of my life for this fight. So I don't think so. He can.
So inshallah, 3rd of August you win. Then after that, what's the plan in the future?
After this fight, ABF title fight, inshallah, I will fight for WBC Asian title fight, and then inshallah, my next target, world eliminator. To win heavyweight fight for Pakistan.
That's
WBC world. That's my target. That's my target since I start boxing.
So inshallah on 3rd you win, and how special is it going to be when you bring that ABF title to Pakistan?
Inshallah, 3rd August, I will bring this title for Pakistani and dedicate to all my Pakistani nation.
So any message you want to give to all your fans, because I'm sure they're all going to be watching your fight and going to be praying for you and cheering for Taimoor to win.
Just to pray for me and support me. Pakistani people always are very supportive, very supportive. When I was in Thailand for last fight, the Pakistani community support me a lot. So inshallah, I need the prayers of Pakistani nations, all this thing, and that's it.
And any message to your opponent, Agarwal?
Agarwal, see you on 3rd August. That's it.
I'm going to smash.
I will answer any question on 3rd August. Inshallah.
But like Taimoor said that he's going to smash his opponent. But Taimoor, all the best. Very proud of you already, and I'm sure that we're going to be cheering for you and hoping that on the 3rd, when we contact you, you're going to talk to us as a champion, inshallah.
Inshallah. 3rd August is my day.
Inshallah it is. Thank you very much for joining us. So you heard the man himself, Mr. Taimoor Khan. 3rd of August. Don't forget the date. It's the date when Taimoor is going to be taking on his Indian opponent Agarwal, and like he said, he's going to smash him. So you better be tuned into that fight, and hopefully after the 3rd we get our first ABF heavyweight title in Pakistan, and then onwards to the future as well. So all the best to Taimoor. On that note, we'll go towards a short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sports Extra. Time now to discuss the second test match between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. That begins on the 24th of this month. And Pakistan are on a winning note. They're 1-0 up in the series after beating Sri Lanka by 4 wickets in the first test match, chasing a historic target on the final day, making history. And Abdullah Shafiq, his stellar performance, 160 not out, a player of the match as well. Babar Azam amongst the run scorers, Mohammad Nawaz, Yasir Shah, and of course Shaheen Shah Afridi, everybody who contributed. It was a wonderful effort. But now some terrible news for Pakistan is that Shaheen Shah Afridi has been ruled out of this second test match due to a knee injury. He of course sustained that injury in the first test match, had a niggle as well, went for MRI scans, but news now which has come in is that he will not be available for the second test match. So Pakistan would be probably going towards a change, but very important to have Shaheen Shah Afridi in full form and give him necessary rest as well and take care of this injury very carefully, because he's our go-to bowler. We've got a T20 World Cup coming up, we've got important series coming up as well, and then another one-day World Cup next year. So it's very important to have him in the prime form. He's been the great find for Pakistan, but obviously unfortunate that often we see fast bowlers going through these injuries. They just need to be handled well. So to talk more on this, we've been joined on Sports Extra by cricket expert and coach Saeed Mohammad Awais. Awais, Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum salam. How are you, Ahmed bhai?
I'm very good, Awais. Thank you for joining us. First of all, now this is a big blow for Pakistan, but at the same time, you're a coach. You also understand how important it is for a fast bowler, especially when he's injured now, to go through that rehab process.
Ahmed bhai, it's a major blow, I would say, because, Shaheen Shah Afridi has been in the prime form. He's one of the cricketer who, like you mentioned, he's a strike fast bowler for you. And from past many months or many years, I would say, if you see Shaheen Shah Afridi, he's one of the bowlers who is capable of getting you early breakthroughs from the start of the match, from the start of the over. So he's one of the main leading fast bowlers. But one thing that we always have been discussing on, that when a fast bowler is on his prime, I know he's young right now, he can go through the injury period because he can recover early too, but still you have to really take care of them, because it's a different conditions over there. It's a gal wicket, and it's humid condition over there. It really checks the fast bowler strength, I would say. It's not easy job over there for a fast bowler to bowl on. And when you have got the Asia Cup coming up, when you have got the World T20 coming up, so you really need to handle carefully your fast bowlers. And it would be a major blow. He won't be in the second test match, but one thing is good, at least his body would get some rest to get back into the match feast.
Awais, why are fast bowlers now prone to these injuries? You've witnessed Shaheen Shah Afridi's action and the effort he puts in as well. And like you mentioned, Gaul is not an easy wicket to bowl on. Then those humid conditions, then extensive training. Of course, you need to keep yourself hydrated as well.
Ahmed, there are, specifically, many of them say one thing, that because of excessive cricket, I would say T20, T10, 1 days or the league cricket going on, obviously it's one of the burdens which the fast bowler's body carry. Any cricketer, I would say, which carries on. But as a fast bowler, he's got a different kind of physique. But we need to work on the fast bowling actions at the age of 19, 17. We can't work on them when they are at the age of 25, 26, 23, because that's the age where they are actually matured cricketers. They have gone through ups and downs. Because if you have three kind of actions mixed in line or midway, but if you just watch out Nadeem Shah, he's one of the bowlers who's a mixed kind of action, and his body right now, he's at the young age, but it's really heartbreaking to see when he goes through that injury period because of action. He has been a fabulous fast bowler, and I really love him because of his aggression, what a fast bowler carries on, and we always want him in the Pakistan team. But again, I would say, when you're getting this kind of youngsters in the test matches, you really need, you don't have to play, because every league around the world, that means the body does not get rest. They are in services for different league, and when you have test matches in line, when you have one-day matches in line, he's coming from that fatigue kind of a thing, not having rest, and obviously it's a body, it gets breakdown. So you need to have some patches. The Pakistan Cricket Board now, I know even the cricket boards have started to speak on that. We need to really think about the league cricket in the world, because wherever you see, the league cricket is right now a king of cricket now, because every youngster coming up does not want to play Pakistan, does not want to play India, South Africa, anything. They want to play Pakistan Super League, under 19 or the KPL coming up, because they know that if anyone performs in it, he's definitely going to be in the line of Pakistan team.
Abesan, what should be the case now because of these young fast bowlers? Like you mentioned, the frequency of cricket is too much. It has to be the board's responsibility to manage them smartly. Often we've seen young players all around the world going towards retirement or going through injuries because their bodies can't sustain it. Then what should be the case, especially in Test cricket? Shorter spells probably. Then, of course, like you mentioned, a strong bench strength. Maybe change them every now and then. Don't make them play every series.
See, that's the point I'm saying on Ahmed Bhai. I know many of them might not agree with me, but I know series is important because Sri Lanka series is important for you because if I'm not wrong, I guess you have to win 5 test matches to qualify for the championships finals. So it's important for you that you can't lose any test match over here. But on the other hand, you really need to look after your fast bowlers because if they break down, what's going to happen in the future? Because unfortunately over here, we don't have that kind of working in our cricket that we have a 5 or 6 years plan for a fast bowler. You have got backup plan for a fast bowler. If you look, one goes on, they have got 2 to 3 fast bowlers ready to play for Australia. You think about the future. Okay, fine. Shaheen Shafeedi is one of the fabulous fast bowlers. He has been performing well. But tell me one thing. Khuda na khaste, if anything happens to his body, if he's injured and he's out of the Pakistan series for quite some time, who's the second command fast bowler going to take his place? You need to think about the future over here. The Pakistan Cricket Board specifically, I would say the cricket boards really need to be now strict with the cricketers that you can play 2 or 3 leagues or max 3 leagues in a year because you need to be 24/7 ready for the national duty because nowadays again the leagues are they don't get much rest and specifically even the test matches you see on whatever the condition is, our ballers, even Yasir Shah, if you remember, he used to bowl in the Dubai kind of a Sharjah wicket 30-34 overs. And it's not an easy job to bowl in this kind of human conditions. You need to go through patches. I mean, small spells are better spells, I would say, as compared to long spells.
Very true. I think that's very true. Avais, now, if we look at the youngsters, there's been a common misconception with fast bowlers that what I've witnessed is that they think probably gym is the only way to get there. And they're putting up so much weight, trying to lift weights and work on weight training that they end up probably tearing their muscles apart. Being a coach yourself, what would be that genuine advice for fast bowlers?
Ahmed Bhai, one thing, I mean, nowadays, it's a good thing in Pakistan that the gyms have been overtaken by the CrossFit, I would say. That's one of the best things, what actually builds your muscle, I would say, body strength. The problem are youngsters who are actually in the age of under 19, 17, for the emerging cricketers, they go to the gym trainers, they don't know what exercise is for the sportsman. They lift up heavy weights, which does not even help you to build internal, I would say, your body structure, internal muscles, what are used for fast bowlers or for batting or for the wicket keeper. The thing is that they really need to go again. I would say the Pakistan Cricket Board needs to go to the depth, to figure all this kind of things where you can work on. At the age of 18, 19, obviously when you work with him, he knows what the international standard fitness needs on, what diet I should take. That can help you to regain your fitness level. But unfortunately over here, like you mentioned, if you just watch out any fast bowler, a youngster, what are you doing in the gym? He would be picking up the heaviest weight to just bring up his biceps. You need to go through, I would say, lightweight, little bit, I would say, flexibility in your muscles for the fast bowlers. So that's the thing that's very. So you need to think how to train the youngsters.
Right. Avais, now going into the second test match, Shaheen is not going to be there. One thing is clear. Any other changes we can expect? What would you believe? Because obviously we know Sri Lanka is going to come back strong. They did it against Australia and we don't want to be a weak link here. We want to win this test match for maximum points.
I don't think so, Ahmed Bhai, there would be any changes. Because unfortunately Shaheen Shah was injured. But the way Pakistan won, and it's one of the biggest, I would say, chase for Pakistan and Sri Lanka, and it has never been an easy task. Because remember I was saying that third and fourth innings is one of the deadliest points where Pakistan team collapses. But Abdullah Shafiq is marvellous. I remember I used to criticize him that he's still not ready for world cricket, but the way he has performed with Babar Azam, he's going on well. Rizwan contributing in the second innings. That's what Pakistan team is, because when you have a good gelled up unit, Pakistan team can be a dangerous side on any day. Given day, I would say. Spin bowling is performing well. Yasir Shah has up his job coming back from the injury. Nawaz was bowling well. Agha Salman, it's a debut match for him. Obviously, you will give him a go run. I would say a long run over here. Then you got Naseem Shah was actually one, I would say, a star, unsung hero, because he was one who stood up with Babar Azam and helped Pakistan to actually win on this match, I would say. So the Pakistan team has been doing a great job, but it's a big blow not having Shaheen Shah Afridi for the second test match. Would be exciting to watch what replacement Pakistan.
Right, definitely. Awais, thank you very much for joining us on Sports Extra. That was cricket expert and coach Syed Mohammad Awais who was talking to us. And like Awais has mentioned, that it's very important that we see, we take care of these fast bowlers very carefully. They're prone to injuries, especially on wickets like Sri Lanka. There is too much effort going in. The wicket's not supporting enough for fast bowlers, and it's a bit tricky. But we wish Shaheen Shah Afridi a speedy recovery. Want him back into the side. He's of course an asset, as we mentioned. We've got an Asia Cup coming up, a T20 World Cup. Then of course we move on to the ODI World Cup next year. Then in very important series in between, we're playing England, we're playing New Zealand as well. So you want your prime fast bowler who's leading your pace attack to be fit and ready, and we all know what a factor he is when it comes to the Pakistan side. So obviously want to see him back in action with good health and a speedy recovery. But at the same time, going into the second test match, it's very, very important for Pakistan to keep their guard up. You never know, Sri Lanka can creep in, win this test match and take those ICC Test Championship points, and of course be on a better position. They're on number 3 now. They've overtaken Sri Lanka, but we want them to be at that number 2 or number 1 spot and play that final at Lords. Now, of course, we've got some terrific news for Pakistan to discuss. It's coming simultaneously in the Athletics Championship and also from K2 as well. Now, initially about K2, we've got another record where the first Pakistani woman to summit K2 is Sameena Baig. She's made history today. Let's take a look at this report and then come back.
Pakistan's 31-year-old climber Sameena Baig, hailing from the remote village of Gilgit Valley, Shamshal, has gotten her name written in the pages of history by becoming the first Pakistani woman mountaineer to summit the K2. The summit push started late last night. As soon as rope fixing teams completed their jobs, the team of Pakistan's 31-year-old climber Sameena Baig confirmed that she, along with other Pakistani mountaineers, summited K2 at 7:42 a.m., which is the second highest peak in the world at 8,611 meters. Meanwhile, less than 3 hours after Sameena's feat, Pakistan's Naila Kiani reached the top and has become the second Pakistani woman to summit the world's second highest peak. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif took to Twitter to extend his felicitations to Sameena Baig and her family for their achievement. Earlier in 2013, Sameena Baig became the first Pakistani woman to scale the world's highest peak, Mount Everest. Sameena has proved that Pakistani women are not behind men in the endurance sport of mountaineering. The nation hopes that Sameena Baig would continue to wave the flag of Pakistan all over the world with the same spirit.
There you have it. History for Pakistan. Congratulations to Sameena Baig, her family, her team, everybody involved. Truly history in the making, becoming the first Pakistani woman to summit K2, and at the same time congratulations to Naila Kiani and her family and her team as well. This is a proud moment for Pakistan, and I think inspiration to all women and girls out there who want to take up any sport, anything at all in life. You've got your role models now. Moving on, some more great news for Pakistan, where Nadeem has qualified for the final of the World Athletics Championship. Of course, the first ever Pakistani to qualify there as well, with his season best throw of 81.71 meters at the Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon. The World Athletics Championships are being held. He's now the first Pakistani to make his way to the final after finishing 4th in Group B with his 3rd attempt throw. Meanwhile, defending champion Anderson Peters of Grenada topped the qualifying chart in the men's javelin with a throw of 89.91 meters, while India's Neeraj Chopra, the gold medalist, Olympic champion, secured the spot with 88.39 meters as well. So congratulations to him. All the best for the final. That wraps it up for this edition of Sports Extra. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.